Hi everybody, I'm Hayley, the founder of Goose, Wellbeing, and this little video is just to let you know some of the amazing benefits that being outside, that being out in nature can have on our bodies and on our minds. Well, we all know some of the main benefits, don't we? That being outside, obviously breathing in lots of lungfuls of fresh air can be fantastic for our respiratory system. And we all know how much our body loves being out in the sun, feeling all that vitamin D soaking into our bones. And we also all probably know that actually being outside probably means that we're doing some exercise. Maybe we might be walking the dog, we might be going for a run, we might just be strolling through the park or walking on our way to work. And so we all know that exercise is good for us, and so obviously being outside in nature is good for us in this way too. We also might be outside because we might be taking a break. So we might be sitting in the back garden, we might be gardening outside, or we might be enjoying lunch sitting on the back patio. And this is obviously really good for us too, because in doing this, we're obviously relaxing, we're taking some time out, and we're spending some time just looking after ourselves and reconnecting with ourselves. But there's many more benefits to it than this. There's lots and lots of research done into the benefits that being outside has on our mind and our body. And I just want to talk to you a little bit about that. So I often talk in some of my ecotherapy work. So at Wild Goose we do a lot of outdoor therapy style sessions. We run a lot of different outdoor retreats and workshops designed to help people to feel better, to manage their mental well-being, to reduce their stress and help them to just reconnect with themselves and with nature. And I often talk about the fact that as human beings, if you imagine that actually we've only really lived the lives that we're living today, the fast-paced, tarmac-filled, lots of skyscrapers, concrete, electricity, technology everywhere, social media. We've actually only really lived that sort of a life for the last couple of 100 years, since the Industrial Revolution really. And if you imagine pre-Industrial Revolution, well actually all of us human beings were working on the land, we were farmers, we were growing crops, we were tending to livestock, we were out in the forests and in the fields. And so actually if you look at it that way, it's probably not surprising, considering all the different sort of stress-related issues, obesity levels, all the different health conditions that are booming in today's society. If you notice how disconnected we actually are from nature as a human species, it's sort of not too surprising. Well, there's been lots of research that's been done into this. I've written a few notes so that I can remind myself to tell you about them all. The University of Michigan over in the USA, they've done a lot of research into the effect that nature has on mental fatigue and stress. And amazingly, they actually found that being out in nature helps us to relax, it improves our memory, it improves our attention span and our cognition, which is just fantastic, isn't it? So let's absolutely go outside. Research that was done at the University of Tokyo actually found that in Japan they do something called Shinrin-yoku, which means forest bathing. And actually they found out there that because humans evolved to be in nature, like I mentioned already about the Industrial Revolution, that actually this is where we flourish best. And the Shinrin-yoku movement throughout Japan is absolutely fantastic. Doctors can refer people into Shinrin-yoku programs. And forest bathing literally means being in nature, being in forests. And actually all throughout Japan they have different walks and different trails that you can do throughout the woods that actually measure blood pressure and monitors people's heart rates and how the outdoors is actually physically affecting them. So reducing blood pressure and increasing the knowledge that you know that nature is actually really, really good for you. Another university in Japan actually found that being in nature reduces stress and symptoms of depression, which is absolutely fantastic. So as an ecotherapist and the founder of Wild Goose, the way that we run is that I run all sorts of different retreats and use the profit from those to run free sessions for people that are referred from their GP with mental health problems. So to find out that nature actually is proven to reduce symptoms of depression is fantastic, isn't it? I think as well being out in nature from a mindfulness perspective is really great. So mindfulness is a real current trend at the moment and has now become to be used throughout the whole of the NHS and in private practices as well. And it's, you know, many people are reading books and learning how to do mindfulness in their own everyday lives. And I think being out in nature really helps us from a mindfulness point of view. So going for a walk allows us to become present. We obviously have to walk and look at the path in front of us. You become much more aware of the view around you. I mean, how often have you gone for a walk and mentioned the view? Or you've noticed birds singing, or it's it's May at the moment in the UK, so all the amazing rapeseed that's coming out, beautiful daffodils, gorgeous colours everywhere. And I think this time of year as well is fantastic because you notice all the buds coming out and the trees starting to spring to life. So it's fantastic at allowing us to reconnect or to connect with ourselves and really notice what's going on in the world around you. And I think by noticing, you naturally reduce your stress levels just by the pure nature of being present. Excuse the pun, the pure nature. I think as well, using our different senses in nature is great in terms of allowing us to be present. So how often have you gone out and you know, if it's been raining in the summer and you can smell the hot earth from just having the rain fallen on it, or the wild garlic that's out at the moment, being in nature allows us to use all our senses. And the benefit of that is that we become much more present, much more mindful of where we are, who we are, and just much more reconnected with ourselves. There's also, amazingly, just to end this video blog, some research that's been done in Sweden that shows that having a view of trees from a hospital window dramatically improves rates of recovery. So if that doesn't prove how good nature is, then I don't know what does. But on that note, I don't know about you, but I'm heading out to the woods and I'll see you all soon. Take care.